Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of El Pablo FC. And today, I have a question. What if the entire world of football got it wrong? What if, conventional wisdom we've all been kind of spouting for months was completely, spectacularly wrong? For years, the story of La Liga has been simple: the duopoly of Real Madrid and Barcelona, and then everyone else, maybe Atletico Madrid for a little while, but ultimately it's their world and we are all just living in it. But now we stand on the precipice of match week 5, and we have a league table that tells an entirely different story. I mean, we have a league table that suggests the balance of power might have been shifting, not with a bang, but also with the quiet, relentless consistency of two unexpected title challengers. Now, this weekend is not just another round of fixtures. This is a critical juncture, a potential turning point, because for the first time in what feels like an eternity, the top 4 spots in La Liga are occupied by Real Madrid, Barcelona, and two other clubs that absolutely no one predicted. We're talking about Espanyol and Getafe. That's right, you heard it right. Espanyol and Getafe. The promoted sides like Catalonia and the rugged defensive masters from Madrid, basically, they are not just get crashing the party, they are also making themselves comfortable and threatening to rearrange the furniture. Now, this weekend, they face the biggest test yet, and that is, we'll tell you more as we go. Now, the deep dive into La Liga's Match Week 5, a game week that could redefine the entire season. We're going to break down the tactics, the injuries, the psychology behind two of the most fascinating top of the table clashes in recent memory. Um, Before we get to that, I'm just going to give you. Okay, no. When we get to that game, I'll talk. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about because the game has already happened. So, and by the time you're watching it, you've already watched the game. So, first of all, we're going to give you a showdown. The first showdown at Bernabeu, where the game that no one saw coming. League leaders Real Madrid with flawless. I'm still flawless, but also a little bit battered, taking on surprising high flyers Espanyol. For Xabi Alonso and his perfect Real Madrid side, everything has been going exactly to plan. 4 games, 4 wins, 8 goals scored, and only 2 conceded. But look closer, and you see a team that is running on fumes and sheer willpower. The injury list is starting to look like a full-blown crisis, with Trent Alexander-Arnold out for an extended period, and now the critical news that Farlan Mendy and Antonio Rudiger are also sidelined. Their defensive line is a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. And to make matters worse, young standout Dean Howson is suspended for this match after a red card last game, and the appeal was just denied. So, this isn't just a physical problem, it's a tactical one. Alonso's system relies on heavily on fullbacks providing width and his central defenders holding a high line. Without his preferred players, he has to be very creative, and this is exactly the kind of chaos that Espanyol thrives on. Coach Manolo Gonzalez has built a team that is defensively solid. They play with a disciplined low block, and they are also not flashy, but they are very effective. They have earned 3 wins and a draw in their first 4 matches. They actually know how to frustrate bigger teams, and they've already proven it by taking down Atletico Madrid earlier this season. Espanyol's game plan is simple: absorb pressure, force mistakes in the midfield, and then a hit on the counter attack using the speed of the front line. With key defenders Fernando Pacheco and midfielder Fernando Calero in good form, they have the personnel to make it a very long afternoon for the makeshift Real Madrid defense. The Bernabeu will also be rocking, and Madrid's star-studded attack will no doubt create chances. But with so many key players out, this game is far more than a routine victory for the Los Blancos. Um, the most likely outcome is a narrow, hard fought win for Madrid, something in the realm of maybe like a 2-1, where they are forced to dig deep to secure the 3 points. What do you think about this one? Maybe 2-1. Espanyol score first, Real Madrid will score back, and Mbappe, as always, will come through for Real Madrid and score, make it 2-1. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. But if this is the matchup, if that matchup wasn't enough for to get your blood pumping, because I know Espanyol can be a hard nut to crack for Real Madrid, but we'll keep observing that. If that is not, I mean, basically the next one we're going to talk about, which is going to happen the next day, is equally a compelling tactical battle at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Second place Barcelona hosting fourth place Getafe in a clash of complete opposites. On one side, you have Hansi Flick's Barcelona, a team of pure, unadulterated attack. On the other side, you have José Bordalás Getafe, a team that lives and breathes defensive pragmatism. Now, this is the beautiful and brutal contrast between these two teams. Barcelona's numbers are almost ridiculous, and they're almost ludicrous as well. An astonishing 13 goals scored in 4 matches, with a staggering average of over 3 goals per game. They lead the league in expected goals and shots on target, and also possession. Flick has unleashed an offensive juggernaut built around the clinical finishing of Robert Lewandowski and the mesmerizing flair of Lamine Yamal, who is also injured. But this is where the plot thickens. Lamine Yamal, a generational talent, has been sidelined with an injury he picked up on international duty. Frenkie de Jong, the midfield metronome, is also out with a knock, and long-term injuries to Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Gavi continue to limit the team's depth. But also, let's not forget that Marcus Rashford scored 2 goals in the midweek for the Champions League game, so he's in hot form. Now, he's also provided an assist last weekend as well. So, Getafe, meanwhile, could be more different. Their statistics show a picture of a team that doesn't care about style points. They have the second lowest pass completion rate in the league, and have committed a staggering number of fouls. Their strategy is to disrupt, right? Their strategy is to disrupt, to break up play, and break up the flow of the game, and to force the opponent to play their way. They are unmovable. They are an unmovable object, and Barcelona is an unstoppable force. Something has to give in this one. While Getafe has a strong defensive record, the sheer quality of Barcelona's attack, even without some of their stars, will likely prove too much to handle for Getafe. We are looking at a match where Barcelona will dominate possession and territory, but Getafe will make them work every single inch. So my prediction for this game will probably as Barcelona would likely secure a 3-1 or 2-1 victory. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I will move on to the next one. Now, beyond the top 2 clubs, Matchday 5 is full of important storylines at the bottom of the table. The situation is dire for 3 clubs, with Mallorca, Levante, and Girona all tied on a single point and are desperate for a result. Mallorca faces Atletico Madrid in a match where both teams are looking to bounce back from crushing defeats. A win for Mallorca could also be the morale boost that they need to kickstart their season, and a loss for Atletico Madrid could also be a serious blow to their confidence and their hopes of keeping pace with the top 2 clubs. Other matches to keep an eye out on include a battle for 2 historic clubs in Valencia and Athletic Club, a match that has been notoriously low scoring in recent seasons. It will also be a tight, cagey affair with a single moment of brilliance likely to decide the outcome. It is also worth watching how the rest of the league performs, especially in light of the surprising success of Espanyol and Getafe. This game week is not just about numbers, it is about narratives. Can Real Madrid continue their perfect run despite an unprecedented injury crisis? Can Barcelona, even with key players out, find a way to break a team down that is designed to frustrate them? Also, most importantly, can Espanyol and Getafe prove that their early season success is not a fluke, but a sign of a new order in La Liga. This weekend will give us the answers. So it just might change everything we know about the season. Now, what do you guys think about this match week 5 of La Liga? As I said to you earlier, one game has already happened in this week, and it's the game between Real Betis and Real Sociedad. And in all honesty, I don't know what is going on Real Sociedad. Maybe because they've lost their key player in Zubimendi to Arsenal, because Real Betis at home smashed Real Sociedad 3-1. First goal came in the 7th minute from Hernandez, and then the second goal came in the 49th minute after Mendes scored in the 13th minute, as if it was a a transition game. And then Ramiro scored an own goal scored an own goal um, and he gave Real Betis a second goal, which is at the 49th minute, just at the beginning of the second half. And then Pablo Fornals scored in the 69th minute to seal the win for Real Betis. But when it comes to momentum of the game, Real Betis had the most momentum. But then if you look at the stats, Real Betis had and Real Sociedad shared the spoils when it came to ball possession, and they had both 50-50. But then where the kicker is with regards to XG or expected goals. Real Betis had 2.09 expected goals, while Real Sociedad had 0.67 expected goals. Total shots for both teams, and that's where the narrative also, the plot actually thickens. The plot thickens with Real Betis taking 21 total shots with 3 big chances, and Real Sociedad had 11 total shots with no big chance at all. The player of this match, the one the highest rating, was Giovanni Lo Celso, doing so well at Real Betis. He also had a flurry of yellow cards for both teams. Real Sociedad had 4 yellow cards. Real Betis had 2 yellow cards. And then Sofiane Amrabat is surprisingly in the Real Betis side. If you look at the lineup for that team, surprisingly, Amrabat moved to Real Betis. We have Lopez in goal for Real Betis. And then we have Bellerin, Llorente, Nathan, and Junior Firpo. Then in mid, we have Amrabat, you have Pablo Fornals, and then you have Ezazuli on left midfield, and Lo Celso in attacking mid. He got an assist in this one, and Anthony, who played 71 minutes in this game, and then obviously Hernandez, who got the goal. So 2 goals from Fornals and Hernandez. And then for Real Sociedad, you had Ramiro in net, goalkeeper, who got the own goal. And then we have Gomez left back, Aramburu right back. We have Zubeldia and Caleta Carr in the center of defense, and then we have Goro Tagli. I think he played against Man United in that one, defensive mid. They played 4-1-4-1, and then Texas and Marin. I think it's Pablo Marin, and then you have Mendes and Tekefusa Kubo. Mendes, who got the goal, and then you have Uyazabal, their captain, in attack. So that's pretty much what has happened with Real Sociedad and Real Betis. Real Betis won that game emphatically in a 3-1 win. So 1 game gone as at time of recording, and we can continue to review as we go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to all things football, with deep dives and everything in between. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.